Hey everybody, bear with me for one moment. I don't even know if there's even anybody here. All right, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm still getting myself together here. Let me plug this laptop up. And, ow! Let me get myself situated. Let me plug it in. Oh, where's my plug? There. All right. Okay, let me close all this out and let me bring up what I need to bring up. Do that. I need this. And what next? This, this, this. Okay, close that. Open this. Names. Close ads. This. YouTube so I can see everybody. Okay, live. Here. Hey Froggy. Hey Deborah. So it looks like it's just us at the moment. Um, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, Froggy, none of that weather is happening here. So that's all north and west of us. So, what do I need? I need this. And copy and paste. Oh, I am muted. Okay. Yeah, where's my chat? There it is. OB. That. Pin message. I look like a dang hot mess. Why is phone stop? Did pin? What? Why does this look like I got it again? Hold on. So there should only be one. Hey, Carol. Oh, Deborah, you're such a sweetie. Thank you. Oh yeah, by the way, I did get your card and how old are those stamps? I haven't seen that design in a long time. Thank you for the stamps. That was very sweet of you. Let's see. I know Terry had reached out if I was going live. Let me go get my water really quick. And let me grab my pen while I'm at it. Oh my gosh. So it's been, I don't know. I hate the fact that tomorrow's Monday already because I feel like my whole weekend is gone. Don't mind me, the paper that I'm using tonight, I need to kind of like get it all put back together here because I ran out of time. And Yeah, so yeah, so my plan on going on Friday, yeah, well, you guys saw that didn't exactly happen. Um, I had taken that day off and I was helping my friend with the memorial for her mom at my church. And so, what do you call it? So Friday, by the time, we were still at the church at like 6 o'clock. We didn't leave there till like 6:30, kind of getting something set up. And then, oh, there's stuff missing. I know that hold on. And so we got that set up, and then when I came home, well, as far as trying to come up with the cards that I was going to do for originally yesterday, um, yeah, it was going to be the thing that I was going to do after, because I did like, I don't want to call them programs, memorial bulletins, is that what I want to call them? So I had that all figured out. I had like 50 of them already printed out. I just needed to score them and fold them. And then there were a couple of pictures that I printed out on cardstock and put them in frames for her. And then, yeah, the PowerPoint slideshow. I had started putting it together way back in, I want to say, was it January, February? February originally was when she was going to do the memorial. However, that kind of changed when we had like that really bad weather and Middle Tennessee got all that ice and all that. So she kind of postponed it, and she went with yesterday's date, which I think is the 16th. And so, so it was kind of started, but there were, what do you call it? There was like an additional picture or two that she wanted to put in the slideshow, and then like an additional song or two. And so I fought with that thing almost all night, and literally went to bed at like 20 to 5 in the morning, only to get up about 8, and then had to shower and do all that stuff to get up there early. So I got up there at 9:30, and there was a few things left we had to do. As far as the whole service went, I wasn't even in the sanctuary for the whole thing. I was in the kitchen making sure, things were heated up and putting things out. And so, yeah, it was really busy. And you would think that after I got back here, I mean, I left there, I want to say, what time did I leave there and get home? I think it was about 6:30 or so. And you would think I would have went to bed. No, I was up till 11. And then, I did, I took my shower last night because I had to wash a bunch of towels from church. There were a lot of them. So I had done that. It was like about 11:30 when I went to bed last night. And so it's like, I think between the aggravation and everything from church, I think the lingering, feelings that I have about health wise, like, which I mentioned, I'm not going to mention them again. Um, that, and I think it was just really being under the gun, trying to get everything done. And I know my friend, she was pretty stressed out trying to get everything done. And so it's been go, 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 go. And then by the time I got back here today, I think, was it like 2:30? I think it was 2:30. Then it's like, oh yeah, you still got to come up with more cards. So the first one wasn't even put together yet. I mean, I had the concept, I had the idea, but it just wasn't together yet. I will show you as we are doing these cards. Um, it's a little interesting with the stamp set. So my suggestion on this one is that if you have a stamp positioning tool, that is going to be your very best bet in especially with the floral images. And I'll explain that because I tried. You figure, you stamp your outline and then you can stamp the filler, and it's easy. It's photopolymer, you can see it. But when they're both kind of outlined, yeah, it does. It's doesn't it doesn't line up the way I wanted it to. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit to get to line it up. So I'll show you as we get to it. So, oh, you thought it started at 4 p.m.? Oh, okay, your time. So that would have been 6. Yeah, you know what? I just decided on 7, and I wasn't gonna try 6 and then not be done and then come back and say, oh well, I gotta push it out an hour, because I think I pushed this live out enough. You can tell I didn't have time to like brush my hair or anything else. I was trying to finish up the last card, and then I looked, oh yeah, nice, it's 7:05. So let me get everything together. So Froggy is here, here, wasn't here, here, wasn't here, here. And Deborah, let's see, and Carol, and Tracy. Oh, well, that was nice of that, Deborah, of your friend Deborah. And there's Tracy. Tracy, you are completely fine. I have not started any cards yet. Um, I just feel, oh, wait a minute, hold on. You just can't, I had to, oh, I'm so sorry, Tracy. So, so sorry. You do not have to apologize for being late. Absolutely don't have to apologize for that. Praying for your husband that situation's all taken care of and he can come home soon. Um, let's see. There's Sharon. Sharon, you didn't miss anything. I was even running late. I don't think I popped on here until like 7:10. So yeah, so if anyone's just popping in, you're so good. I mean, considering that this was supposed to be Friday and it didn't work out that way. Um, yeah, so so again, yesterday we took care of the memorial, so that's kind of done. That's out of the way, no stress there. It was a little bit to clean up the church after it was all said and done. Um, it's hot as anything outside. Very humid and in the upper 80s today. So, yeah, we are supposed to get some rain, but that's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere along that. Whether they're severe, that I don't know. We shall see. And I was really good, like this afternoon, like after I got back here and I was working on this. Um, Ryan Hall, I think, went live at 5, I think. And I did not put it on because I knew if I would have put that on, I would have been sucked into that and I wouldn't have gotten anything done. So, yes, I probably will put that on when all is said and done. Kind of looking forward to my dinner of being just really a salad, because I'll tell you what, yesterday, food wise, now this was okay, people were supposed to bring things. My friend, she had bought like bags of, like the salad mix, just like the greens. And then she bought like the cherry tomatoes, and she had croutons, bacon bits, shredded cheddar cheese, and then two different dressings. Oh, and cucumbers too. And so what was left of the salad, because it was all separated, I kind of like just dumped it in the thing, and that's what I brought home. And what was interesting, that I ended up making myself a big plate of salad. That was it, just salad. And I tried to sit down and eat it, but I was constantly getting up. So it took me a very long time to eat just that one plate of salad. But what was left over, the salad and all that, I brought that home, and then I kind of noshed on that, later on in the evening. But there was fried chicken. She made red beans and rice, so there was plenty of that and still stuff left over. Uh, Someone made green beans, and what else was there? S Potato salad. Oh my gosh. Um, Someone brought, like, from Sam's Club. I don't know if you would know the size, but these tubs that are like this big. Okay, four of those. Okay, four of those, and then two of like the ones that are like this size. um, from Walmart. There was a lot of potato salad, and only two of the big tubs got dumped like in a bowl. Um, I think other than that, was that all that there was? I think that's all there was as far as the food went. She did what she could. People were going to bring stuff. I'm glad that whoever was going to bring mashed potatoes didn't bring mashed potatoes, because there was a lot. um, my friend, she ended up making, I guess her mom made this um, pineapple coconut cake. So you got I, I want to say it's almost like a poke cake, and it's in a sheet, so it's not very thick. It's maybe like that. It looked like yellow cake mix. Now, the reason why I'm kind of guessing here, because I didn't have any of it, so I don't know. It looked really, really good, but I just didn't have any of it, so I can't tell you, but it looked like yellow cake mix. And I think the pineapple juice, I think when she pokes it, no, she didn't poke it because I didn't see holes. But anyway, there's pineapple chunks mixed with coconut that's kind of layered on top of the cake, and then there's like this 7-minute icing that she calls it, and then that kind of layers over the top of it. So she made like three of those cakes. One of them was all iced up and put out. The other two never got iced up. So somebody ended up taking, I guess one of the family members ended up taking that home with them. Um, yeah, the chicken definitely went. I am not a big fried chicken person, so yeah, I didn't have it. Actually, I didn't eat anything other than that salad, and it took me a long time to eat it too. So, but other than that, um, yeah, it went pretty good. She told me that a lot of people told her that they really liked this slideshow. S- that, like I said, I had to, because PowerPoint is one of those programs that I don't really use a lot, and creating a slideshow with music and all that was the first time I ever did that. Now, she doesn't have a computer, so it would have been a little hard, and she doesn't really have, the knowledge on how to do that. So I kept on using AI to find out how to do this and do that. The slideshow would start playing, and then I'm hearing two songs at the same time. I'm asking it, it tells me, I do what it says to do, and then it still happens. So it was a lot of back and forth with that. And so I was really starting to get frustrated. I was tired. I'm seeing how little bit of sleep I'm going to get. And then it's like, okay, it worked. I brought my laptop to church, and my pastor pulled it over to their computer, And then he had to download PowerPoint because they don't use like, um, what would you say mine is? They don't use Microsoft. They use, what is it, like a, I don't know if it was an app. It's an Apple. And I don't know nothing about those things. But he had to download PowerPoint for it. And that's how it made everything work. Because when he tried to do it through some other program, it wasn't working. And so, yeah, I couldn't vent my frustrations in front of my pastor, and plus I was in church too, so it was it all worked out. And again, those programs, they came out. I don't even have one here. I mean, I can print them out, but they came out really, really good. Everything was nice and even because that's how I am. I'm kind of anal that things have to be straight and even and line up and all that. So that is done. Now, next weekend, next week is going to be a brutal. It's going to be a brutal week. So this week is when I got to work on that leave file. So that's two back-to-back days. That's going to consume a good chunk of the day. So I know I've said this time and time again, and I just feel so bad that I have to change it to a different time. When I do these lives, it's supposed to be Friday night live. It's not supposed to be Saturday night live or Sunday night live. It should be Friday, so it's done, right? So I can't even tell you what am I even. I don't even know what I'm using. Hold on. What am I using? Uh. I think I am using, well, the name of the bundle is Sunset Coast, so that's the one with the pretty specialty 6x6 paper with the sunsets. It's not behind me. So that's what's going to be the next live. I am so far behind on all of these Thursday videos. I got to kind of fit that in and try and get these done before the month is out because you know, I they should be part of the count for May. Um, but I just need to really, really figure out how to manage my time when it comes to this and when it comes to work. And when it comes to like, things now, like I said, this memorial is done and I did a lot, to help her out, because there wasn't a whole lot of people stepping up that were going to help her out. So I did that. And so now that's done. Next Saturday, my pastor's son is getting married. So the wedding's at 2 o'clock. My plan is to just go to the wedding. I'm not going to stay for the reception. So if I can get, well, forget Saturday. No, I'm gonna really try and aim for to doing a live on Friday night so I can do it and get it done and all that. I really don't want to say I'm gonna do it Saturday night, but it could happen. So kind of stay tuned. If it does, I will either do a post or I'll do the email for those of you that we kind of like have that rack group with the cards and all that, and I'll let you know. But I really want to just get it done on a Friday night and not push it off because usually Sunday would be kind of be like a chill day, but really it was just a crazy busy weekend. So let me see. I think this is the stuff that's going on right now. So I got that. Oh wait, there's more. Oh wait, there's more. Let's see. We got that. We got that. All right, let me move this out of the way. And I am going to flip this and we are going to get started because That last one went for like 3 hours, and we don't want to go for 3 hours. The last card, I will tell you, the last card that I put together, I don't know, will that be the first one or the second one? But that one was primarily like die cuts, and I didn't quite finish die cutting the pieces, so I'll be doing that, as we're here. But it's a pretty simple laid out card, and it's kind of the case out of the catalog for this suite. So let me switch this, kind of move these out of the way, and we will just kind of get through this and bring this down and bring this out. And let's make sure everything is straight. And we're not going to have no funny, focusing in and out. So how's everybody else's week and weekend? How's it gone? Like I said, mine was pretty busy. And like I said, when it comes to doing, like this crafting stuff, I'm best when it's done during the daytime. For some reason, when you hit the evening hours, I kind of like shut down a little bit and I just don't have any motivation. So Froggy had snow and rain all weekend. That I saw earlier today, I scrolled on Facebook, and there's another woman that used to be a Stampin' Up demo. I mean, she still does the card making and all that. And she took a picture out. She's up in Canada too, and she took a picture. And yeah, she had quite a bit of snow. And I'm thinking, I would just love those cool temps down here right now. Not the snow, but the nice cool temps. Yeah, it was hot. It was like I said, it was close to 90 today. So all right. So let me go ahead and let me go through this, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to be working with. And so Deborah, it was cold on Saturday and hot today. Lawnmower broke again while trying to cut grass. So hubby ordered parts. Yeah, you know what, Sharon, you may be I think what we're going to get, I think it was talking about, was it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, something about thunderstorms. And so usually a lot of stuff that we get, it kind of moves its way towards your direction. So, and then I think it's supposed to be like in the 70s, and I'm like, I can go for that. 70s are good. Okay, so product of the month. Uh, Again, I haven't had a chance to go on the website and check anything out as far as, I'm pretty sure that May's Berry Botanical Vellum is still available. Actually, I do have this. So let me bring it in and let me show you. I haven't even opened this yet. Okay, so what is there? There is, hold on. So there are 12 sheets, 3 each, of 4 single-sided designs. So let's see. So we got some really bright flowers. So on this, you could easily put glue dots on the back of it. And it's pretty thick too. So you got 3 of those. And then you got 3 of the fresh freesia, kind of like a grid. And then, oh, I must have not taken it all out of the package. No, I didn't. And then there is this pattern here. Now somebody said, yeah, you can end up fussy cutting this. I'm thinking, no, I will not be fussy cutting that. I will put it probably on white cardstock, but we will not be fussy cutting this. No, no, no. And if you love fussy cutting, you go right ahead. Um, so this is still, like I said, it's still available. Uh, Product of the month again is, for when you spend $75 after you have applied like any Stampin' Rewards or any coupon codes, and before the tax and shipping is added, there's a little bar up at the top of your cart, when the order form, that once you reach that amount, it's going to let you know. If you have to click on that and then click on the product to add it to the cart, and then you get it for $5. So this is May's. And again, because I didn't have a chance to check ahead of time, last time I remember seeing that the April product of the month, the Eyelet Blooms dot, I don't know why it calls it dyes, because there's just one dye. I think this is also still available as well. So when it comes to product of the month, it's only one per customer. So if you had already gotten April, but you didn't get May, then you can get May, and then kind of like vice versa. As long as the product is still available, and if you hadn't already ordered it, you can still get it. Again, I think it's just these two right now that are still available. Stampin' Up! Has also got a starter kit special for the month of May. You have two options. So here in the US, and again, price wise, I don't have the Canadian info on here. So the starter kit is typically $99 plus tax. The shipping is free. And then you would get to choose $125 in product. For the month of May, you got an option, two different options. The first option is that you will get a free set of the 5 new in color ink pads. These are the new magnetic ones. We're going to be using some of them tonight. So you can either have this in your kit, but if you decide that you do not want the ink pads, you can also choose getting an additional $35 on top of that 125 of product that you want to put in your kit. Um, Again, when you get the starter kit and you become a demonstrator, you don't have to do what I do with the videos and all that. You can just simply, become a demo just to get that to get what does it start at? 20, like a 20 to 25% discount. There is a quarterly minimum of like $300, but when you join in May, let's see, so April, May, so June, July, August. You wouldn't have to meet that quarterly minimum until the end of September. And if you don't quite make it at the end of September, then you would go pending that next month, or after, September, if you didn't meet it and you decide that you don't want to, yeah, it starts out as 20%, and then it does go up to 25 at you know at some point. Any details like that, if you're curious and you're interested, feel free to reach out to me if you're here in the US, because again, the prices that I'm giving you are for here in the US. um, what else about it? Yeah, so you don't have to build it as a business to earn like an extra like supplemental income with it. It is a lot of work. I will be honest with you. It is a lot of work. And sometimes it's hard to, do all of this and work at the same time, but it's an option if you want to or not. Again, you can just simply enjoy that discount on your craft products. There is a new craft class that is coming out. This will actually happen, next week. So this class is called Paper Mixer. So this is going to um, it's really going to focus on the paper medley mix-in designer series paper. However, there's also going to be like three other sets of designer series paper in this. So if this one, I think is a little bit, I, what are they making on this one? I don't, because I know there's another one there that they said they're going to do a card. They're going to do a scrapbook page. There was going to be like four different things they were going to do, but that's not this one. So this one, it's opened up, I believe, how much is this one? 25. Of course, I didn't write that down. I'm not going to look it up. The, I will, no, I won't. I was going to say I was going to have this info put in the description of the video, but I can only add so much because YouTube limits how many characters you can put in the details box. But this is out on the website. It was either 25 or $35. It was one of the two. I honestly, I just don't know. My brain is fried. I don't know, but so with this class, it's going to happen in a private Facebook group. And so even after May 21st, so they're going to do this at 2 p.m. on Mountain Time. If you're not able to watch it live, you can always watch the replay, and that's exactly the way it's going to have to work with me because I work at that time. Uh, so even once the live of this class is done, you'll still be able to purchase it if you would like. And then the videos are going to be out there on Facebook. And I know usually when you do lives or whatever on Facebook that those videos are only going to be there like for what is it, like 30 days. So it's okay, $30 in the US. Thank you, Deborah. And so, yeah, they've done something where the videos will be there longer. The videos are not going to be put out there on YouTube because I guess there was an issue where one of the classes they did, they put the video out there, but it Stampin' Up lists it as an unlisted video, so that means only those people who actually purchased it should be the ones watching it, and they went and shared it. So then it's like, okay, so then they kind of changed it up, but as long as that Facebook group is out there, they didn't say that they're taking it down anytime soon. I mean, there's a couple that I need to still go back to and kind of follow along. So this is currently available. And then if you are a demonstrator or you're thinking about becoming a demonstrator, Stampin' Up does every year a demonstrator only event. Typically, the creativity now is more geared towards, oh, I love you too, Terry. Again, I'm sorry. I know you like being here, but it stinks because you got to get up early. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, so anyway, with Creativity Now, it's a demonstrator only event. With Creativity Now, it's not like when we have a convention where there's a mixture of stuff that's like business related and then and like some crafting. Creativity Now is strictly crafting. Uh, Again, it's demonstrator only. It's a virtual event. This one, I believe, is $35. The registration period for this is from May 5th through the 26th. And then there is actually a suite of products that you'll be able to order from June 2nd to July 17th. Now, this product, I've seen it and it's really, really cool. I don't know, I didn't really read anywhere where they said this was going to be product that will actually end up in a catalog or online exclusive, but they did. So there's a bundle, there's a specialty paper and designer series paper, and there's embellishments, and then there is a stamps. There's one individual stamp set that is just for this event. So it's an additional stamp set on top of that bundle. So, yeah, so this event will happen on August 8th. And again, it's virtual, it's demonstrator only. So if you sign up to be a demonstrator and it's before May 26th, you can register for this. Now, again, the price $35. That's not including like any product except for that free stamp set. A little bit later on in June, like June 2nd, the product for this event will be available to purchase. Last chance products list, I believe it'll be next month, I think, that they will update this, probably mark more things down, add things. So that's still out there. The Sparkling Celebrations Paper Pumpkin, that's now over with. And right now the subscription period for the Bikes and Blooms kit started on May 11th, and this will run through June 10th for that kit. And then there are coordinating add-on dies. These are the Wonderful Scenes dies. These coordinate with the April, May, and June kits. Again, these dies, you don't need to complete the kits. This is just if you want to do some extra crafting with the products that are in the kit. Also, you do need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get those. Okay, so that is all of that. Let me get this out of the way. And then let me bring in what we are going to be using. So, what is, oh my lord, what is the name of the suite? It is Bloom Boutique. So in this suite, there is designer series paper. This is the specialty paper. So in the paper, the colors in here are all of the new in colors, and I think there may be a few additional, maybe not. Barely Blush, Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, Hydrangea Hue, Peaceful Pine, and Gold. So yes, all the colors in here, and white is all the new in colors. So you have some really pretty little floral prints in here. And then on the back, you got some kind of like background type designs. And all of them have kind of like this little gold decorative bits in it. So we are using some of this paper on our projects tonight. So that's the paper. Now, this is not part of the suite. However, this contains all of the new in colors, and this is the 2026 to 2028 in color pearlized specialty paper. So pearlized cardstock. It's, how do I want to describe it? It's not as thin as the paper, but then it's not as thick as the cardstock. And so you get one sheet of each of those colors, and it's pearlized, and we are using this. So this is not part of the suite, but I brought that out to show you because we are going to be using it. Let me take this. This is going to be our scrap paper for our projects. Okay, let me move this. Also, this is a big, this is a mega suite because it's got 2 stamp and die bundles to it. So you have the boutique blossoms, you know, you have your stamped image, and we're going to talk about these in a little bit. So you have your images, and then there are dies to die cut those stamped images, but then there are also a couple of dies here that are a little more detailed that you can just die cut those, and you can kind of build your scene. And that was the last card that what do you call it, that I was throwing together. I was wondering if you were going to remember, Yvonne. I was kind of late too. I didn't get here till 7:10 because guess what I was doing? I was still, and you just missed Terry because Terry basically she had to jump off and she's got to go to bed. So kind of sad about that. Okay, so the other bundle that's in this is Scallop Bloom. So the stamp set is all these greetings. Your kindness means so much. Wishing you a day of relaxation, happiness, and love. Relaxation, that sounds good about now. Thank you. Happy birthday. You're a blessing to me. Thinking of you. Hugs. Have a good day. Thank you for being there for me. And then the dies are you got your scallops. Now you have some solid scallops, and then there's some of these that do have like a stitching around the scallop, and then a couple of other like label type dies, and then like little leaves and little circles. So this is the bundle for this one. There is also, these are pretty. These are the 2026 to 2028 in color butterflies. You have two different sizes of these, so these are really pretty. Let's see, what else do we got with this? Uh, Also, we're not going to be using it in any of the projects tonight, but these are the scalloped window boxes. So basically, if you remember a few years ago, we had those little pizza boxes. They're basically about the same size. The only difference is you do have a scallop cut out on the top, and there is some acetate in this opening as well. So this is part of the suite. Now, it this too isn't really part of the suite, but it's kind of separate. So for a lot of the suites that Stampin' Up has, they also have like the scrapbooking workshop kits. And then usually they also have like a bundle or maybe just a stamp set to go with it. And so Heirloom Boutique is this is the bundle that actually goes with that scrapbooking kit. But then again, it does you can use it for cards as well. So you do have some detailed dies in here. And then you do have like these stamped images here that have the dies to cut them out. The greetings on here, lots of love, a day to remember. I'm filled with love for you today and always, and then better together. I'm not remembering, but I'm pretty sure these stand. Well, no, they're not too bad. The greetings aren't really huge, but they're not bad. As a matter of fact, I one of the things I have to also do that I got to throw in this week is I got to make a wedding card for next Saturday. That's another thing I got to do. Okay, so again, this isn't part of the suite, but it's actually part of the workshop, the scrapbooking workshop kit. And you can still, hold on a second. I had a piece fall out of my envelope and now I can't get it picked up. Okay. Okay, let me see how that's gonna go. All right, so let me get this out of the way. So we're not using these. And where do I put things? I've run out of room. Because I do have to do some die cutting because I ran out of time getting things done. All right, let me move that, and then let's determine here which. Oh, let me show. Let me show this because I made mention of this earlier. Deborah had sent me a card, and oh my gosh. So definitely it's a fun fold card and a lot of work went into this. So it opens up. Ready for this? What? Look at that. All the flowers. I have that bundle, but very pretty. Or is this the background stamp, Deborah, or are these flowers and leaves from that stamp and punch bundle? It's been a while since I played with it, but very pretty. So lots of bright flowers, and you got the butterflies and these. But what are these butterflies from? Is this part of that new bundle with the punch? They look familiar. But yeah, so this card came in the mail from Deborah and had some vintage stamps. I don't know if I've ever seen this design, so they look vintage, but they're forever stamps, so it doesn't matter how high they go up on the price of postage. Forever stamps, well, even though you paid less on them, they're always going to be honored at whatever the price is at that time. I will make mention about last week on that live. I did get everything as far as the description stuff all out there. The only thing that I need to complete is the PDF on that. And as you see that there's nothing in the description for this one, I gotta go in and I gotta add all of that stuff and then also create the PDF for that as well. Like I said, I just have to, get the energy that after the work day that, I can sit down and I can actually just stay awake and be focused and get all of that stuff done. All right, so let's see here. Which one do we want to do first? Um, let's go with this one. This one I did get like all the pieces already kind of cut ahead of time. And again, this is basically all the new in colors this week. Is the pierced background an old item? You know what it looks like? It looks like, oh, what was the name of it? It was a background die, and it just had like all the leaves on it. Yeah, the flowers are from Petal Park. Yeah, oh, what is it called? Because I do have that die. I do have it somewhere. But it was all leaves. That's what I remember. Um, is Hydrangea Hue like a periwinkle? It sure is, Froggy. It sure is. Definitely a periwinkle color. All right, so one of the things, let me go get. Oh, do I need a ruler? I don't know if I need a ruler. Yes, I need a ruler. Hold on one second. Here we go. Got my ruler. Okay, so my card base is Hydrangea Hue, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then out of those scallop dies, so the largest one in here, I die cut this largest one, so you can see that it's like every other one. There's a few that didn't come out. That every other one of them has this bit of stitching around all of the scallops. So for this Hydrangea Hue Shimmer, I used the largest one that doesn't have any of that stitching detail on it. And then out of the designer series paper, I went with the pattern with the little blue flowers, and I die cut this using then the second smallest of just the plain scallop without the little stitching in it, and I die cut that out. Then I have a piece of basic white. This is going to be for my greeting. This measures 3.5 by 3/4. And then ahead of time on this one, out of basic white, I stamped the rose image in Misty Moonlight ink, and then 2 of the leaves in garden green. And so those we're going to be coloring in. There's another new item that we're also going to use tonight. And these were not available for demonstrators to pre-order, but they came in stock when the catalog did go live. So let me bring in my blends, both the dark and the light Hydrangea Hue and the dark and the light Peaceful Pine. But the shimmer brush, we are going to be using the Hydrangea Hue one. And actually I have the other colors here, and then this is the white gel pen, so you get 2 in a package for those. But on these, on the shimmer pens, just as a heads up and FYI, these kind of work just like the Wink of Stella pens. As you can see, it has this little ring in here. You do have to unscrew these, and then you have to remove the ring. Right, come on, come off the ring. Put that back on there. And then, just like the Wink of Stella, definitely do this over a few sheets of paper. You want to squeeze it, and you want to get this glitter to go through to the brush. Now, if you squeeze too much, then off on the sides here, you'll have your ink coming out. So I was just it took a little bit, but I just gently like squeezed until I started seeing the ink going there in the brush. Now the thing is with these, you know, the Wink of Stella, you know, it's the clear with the you know, with the shimmer in it. With these, you have the color in there. So if you use this to brush, like say if I color this image in with my blend, and then I go over it with this like I would, you know, like Wink of Stella, you're gonna have like this dark color on there. So depending on what you're going to how you're going to use it, just kind of like play with it, because again, it's the color with it, you know, like you would Wink of Stella. It's going to be a much bolder color. So remember, you do have to take this little ring. So Wink of Stella's got the little black ring. These shimmer pens have the white one. So you got to remember to remove that in order for it to work. All right, so I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. And these cards, I want to say that the last one we're going to be doing, which was actually my first one, is going to be the more putzier card out of the 3. So to start off, we're going to use that shimmer pen. And so let me just kind of move this stuff. I want to put it there. And then I'm going to get a big piece of grit paper, because this is going to get a little messy. So I'll put that down. I'm going to put my card down. And then I'm going to get my bone folder, our shimmer pen, and then I'm going to, actually, which way do I want to do it? I'm going to tap it. And this is, oh, don't hit the brush. my sample card gave me much bigger splatters. Now, I'm not so much worried about in here. I want to try and get, if I want bigger drops, I guess I got to squeeze it a little bit. There we go. All right. Close that up. Now with this, because this, I don't want this to smear, I'm just going to turn this over and I'm just going to press that into the paper to kind of get the excess off, but you can see it has a little bit of shimmer in there. So instead of using the Stampin' Blend to do it, we're going to do it with the shimmer pen. All right, so then I'm going to take this big scallop here and I'm going to put this on my card front, and I'm going to have some hanging off. So I am going to flip this over and I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace along here, because this is going to tell me don't go over here with the glue. So let's see. Whoops, hitting things. Liquid glue. All right. So again, you can, depending on how you hold this, you really can't see that pencil line. All right, now let's turn this over. Got the fan on over here. Now the thing is, I can't see this pencil line. Cannot see it. I'm kind of hoping that I'm in the middle. That's a lot better than the sample one I did. I was a little too high with it. All right, so I'll put that down. And then I'm going to take my Designer Series paper one, add glue to this, and then we'll center this like so. All right, then I'm going to bring in my little trimmer. And when I trim this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this under here. I'm going to bring the arm down just a little bit, so then that way when I put my card in there, it's butt up right up against it. I don't want to go too far in, or I'm basically going to be splitting my card in half. So it's lined up. I'm not going to hit that fold line. Trim that. And there we go. And you can still open the card. And it's not cut, so we did good. All right. I'm going to take that. I'm going to set that aside. Bring in my scrap paper. Let's close this up. And then on my rose, I'm going to bring in my light Hydrangea Hue. Now this is kind of interesting when you go to start coloring with this. If you look at it, it looks, well, to me it almost looks like it would be like a light Orchid Oasis, but it will dry a little bit lighter and it does look more like Hydrangea Hue. So on this, I'm just going to color the whole thing. I don't know why I just focused on one little spot, but you can see it looks a little more like almost like a pinkish purple. But then once it dries to the Hydrangea Hue color. Like I said, the cards for the most part are pretty simple, especially the two that I ended up doing today, only because I was just really, you know, time has just been flying by, and so you think, oh yeah, I should be able to do that in this many hours, and then, yeah, next thing you know, it's like you're late on going live. Well, like I said, I have to figure out a way on how to better manage my time and try to juggle everything that I'm juggling and still be able to get to bed at a decent time and get more sleep, do better as far as that goes. You can see it looks more purple when you color it, but then as it dries to the Hydrangea Hue color. Okay, and then I'm going to take my dark, and again, I'm not going to overthink this, so the little lines that they kind of put in here, I'm just going to kind of go around. I tried to do this where I had the dark, you know, like in the inner parts of it, and then leave some white around the edge, and then use my color lifter to kind of blend it through. It did not look right. So I figured, okay, let me just color this fully in, and let's just kind of leave it at that, because I did not like how that came out afterwards. But again, this is going to dry lighter as well. Okay. Okay, so that's gonna dry lighter, so it'll look better. We're also gonna actually take Wink Stella and put it on there when we're done with it. Okay, then the leaves. Again, I stamped it in a color that would be darker than the color that I'm going to use to color it in. So garden green, you'll see a little bit of that. What do I want? Give me the dark peaceful pine, and I'm just going to go over the veins of this leaf. And then I'm going to take my light and color it in. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside. Then I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat. And then stamp set. I want, for this one, I want Thinking of You. And I'm sorry. Tell you what, I am like one big hot mess. Literally a hot mess. All right, block. I think I'm going to need a cold shower after I'm done, just to kind of cool off. Okay, so now there it is. All right, so on my piece of basic white, again, this is 3/4 of an inch wide and it's 3.5. And we're going to flag this end. So when I go to stamp my greeting, I want to go over more to the left with it. So I'll ink this up. And put that there. And I got my chamois. Let's see. I will say when we had Orchid Oasis, I liked that one. From Beautiful Butterflies. Oh no, that's not the new one. All the Flutter. Beautiful Butterflies. How old is that, Deborah? Because now I'm wondering, I usually typically get like all the butterfly ones, but I wonder, is it one that I have? I may have it. I have so much stuff, I don't know. I can't remember what I got anymore. Yeah, Crisp Cantaloupe, that color actually is a returning in color. We had that one a few years ago because that one was part of the in colors that Coastal Cabana came from. Baked brown sugar, pistachio pudding, and what was the other one? There's another one. Oh, I think, was it one of the colors that kind of came back? I don't know. Like I said, my brain is a little fried, so I don't. That's it. Strawberry slush. Yep, see? It's like my brain is just not functioning. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. And we're going to flag this end of our tag. So I'm going to come in about the middle, snip in, and then kind of go from corner to the center. And there we go. It's a little off as I flick stuff all over my desk. Okay, that's better. Hold on, let me move this down. All right, I am almost done with this pack of the grid paper. This is the pack that I bought. The bordered ribbon is 3/8 of an inch wide. This comes in all of the in colors. We got Hydrangea Hue. And so I want a piece about that long. Because we're going to kind of snip the end of that anyway at an angle. So let me put my little pin back in here. And not drop it on the rug. That would not be good. All right. So now I'm going to take this ribbon. It's going to go about the middle here. And then the end, just going to cut this at an angle. And then I'm going to take my tear and tape. And I'm going to add some of this to the back of it. Stitched greenery die, that's it. Alright. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I've been doing good where I haven't been yawning, but I think the lack of sleep from Friday into Saturday, I think, is now catching up with me. Okay. So, I'm going to take my ribbon and let's remove paper backing off of it. And I'm going to come about the middle. And let's make sure I'm putting this even. Or straight, actually. Okay. And then I'm going to take my greeting piece here and some dimensionals. All right, and then straight. All right, and then this I'm going to put just underneath it. Come down a little bit. I'm going to have that butt right up against that left edge of my card. Then for these leaves, I'm going to take them. I'm going to kind of overlap them like so. And then my rows here, I'm going to place these right here. I am going to flip this over and try to hold it all together. And then we're going to pop this up. I'll put one here to kind of hold those together, and it comes off. Okay, flip it over. Put one right there to kind of hold it all together. All right. Okay, I had to check to make sure I put that on right. That my card wasn't upside down. All right, and then my rose is going to go right up on top like so. All right, and then like I said, we're going to add some Wink of Stella. Now the reason why I didn't use the Hydrangea Hue shimmer pen on this is because, again, this is going to come out kind of dark, and then you're not going to really be able to see any of the lines. So I'm just going to use good old Wink of Stella. And I'll brush that on my rose. And hopefully I got Wink of Stella coming out. I don't want to squeeze it because I don't want to have a big glob of it on it. There we go. One more thing to add to it. So let me get, where are my little butterflies? And of course on this one we're going to use Hydrangea Hue. I feel really bad that I'm doing this on a Sunday and that doing it at 7 p.m. too. Terry couldn't stay. I feel bad because I know Terry likes being here when I'm live. So now there's, like I said, there's 2 different sizes, and these butterflies, they're, how can I describe them? It's like there's like a clear coating on them, but they're also pearlized. So they're very pretty. Who doesn't like butterflies? Yvonne, right? Who doesn't like butterflies? Oh yes, we know Terry would love this card. Her boyfriend would be jealous that she wasn't here to see this. And then we're going to stick one right here on the ribbon. So, one down, 2 more to go. So there is our first card. So, like I said, doing 2 of these, I had to kind of keep it simple because I just would not have had time to do a really, really detailed, you know, and a lot to it type of card. All right, second one. So the second one we're going to do, um, I I was running out of time, so some of the die cutting I did do, and then there's a couple of pieces that I still do have to die cut on this, but it's not too bad. So let me kind of move this stuff away from my die cutter, and we'll move that down there. All right. So I have a piece of this is crisp cantaloupe, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of that Bloom Boutique designer series paper, I think is the name of it. So this measures 4.5 by 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of Hydrangea Hue. This is, I know it's like three quarters, yeah, 3/4 of an inch wide, and this piece is cut at 5.5, but this is going to be trimmed down. Then I have some scrap pieces of that shimmer paper. So I had already die cut. This is that detailed rose die. So this is die cut out of the Barely Blush. And then I have the Golden Glow and the Peaceful Pine. And with these, I'm going to die cut. Let's see. Bring in. Okay, are you stuck to, oh man, it's stuck. Okay, so we got the rose. Then there's this little detailed flower here. And these leaves. Okay, let me leave this out because it's sticking to that paper and I don't wanna tear it. All right. So let me quickly go and, because we're going to die cut 2 of these leaves and 3 of these flowers. So I have my Empress sitting right over here. So I'm going to drop these on here. Oh, Yvonne wants to be added to the spreadsheet this time. I tell you what, I feel like I need to take a vacation from me. Because, man, can I say it really stinks that it's Sunday? And I can't sleep in tomorrow. Okay, so we got 1 leaf. Nice little shimmery leaf. And we got another one. And let's see. I have one out? Yes, I do. It's playing hide and seek. One. Oh, Carol's leaving us. That's right, Carol's on Eastern time, so well, thank you for joining, Carol. And again, you know, I really do feel bad that when I have to keep rescheduling these things. I know you guys are like, you know, you're understanding and all that, but you know, if I can get them done on Friday, then it's like, okay, then I got it done, you know, and then it's like I got the weekend to do whatever else I need to do. But, you know, I get it, you know, life happens and stuff, and you kind of get pulled every which way. But, you know, usually like Sunday, you know, I'll get done with church. If I have to stop at a store or whatever, you know, I'll do that. And then I come back here. Whatever laundry I have to do, I'll do that. So I didn't do that. So that's going to be tomorrow. And, but I will be taking a shower when I'm done here. Because, yeah, I mean, get all sweaty, and I don't like being all sweaty. I hate it. All right, so that's all that I need. Ow, that was my finger. Ow, well, that hurt. All right, so let me get this out of the way. So this is all I needed to die cut. So again, 2 of those leaf pieces out of the Peaceful Pine, and then 3 of these flowers out of the Golden Glow. It actually looks more like a orangey yellow, doesn't it? Like peach pie in a way. All right. So let's fold and burnish this. Okay. Then the designer series paper. So yeah, make sure you put it the right way, because it's going to be flush to the left and right side. And then you're going to have, what are you going to have? You're going to have like that 1/2 inch on the top and bottom. So let's get the glue. Yeah, I'm going to try and get through these as quick as I can, because I know y'all that's in Ohio. I know you're in the Eastern time zone. So it's going to be like later for you too. Okay, and then I'm going to put this. All right, work with me. Do not dry too quickly. I know there's a little more space down here. I tried to get it lined up. All right, so then we are going to take our Hydrangea Hue piece, and we're going to bring in our Hydrangea Hue ink. Now, here's the thing that I don't know if I'm liking about these magnetic pads, is that when you got them together, they all stick together. And when you want to pull up just one pad, you don't want like a bunch more. Okay. So the greeting I want for this one is, where is it? Here we go. You're a blessing to me. All right, block. All right. And I'm going to stamp this. Let's see, about here. Okay. Close that up. Clean this. Well, hopefully I'm not going to be that that long, Tracy. Yeah, I'm not one that goes to bed early either. I find that the way my mattress is, my body will just, it does not like being in bed for a long time. So if I can get like 6 hours, I'm okay. Would it be better if I get more like 7 or 8? Probably. But I do need to like stop this going to bed like at 2 in the morning just to try and get things done, because that's not good. Okay, so I'm going to angle cut that. All right, so now we're going to assemble our card. So let me get glue dots. Hopefully I got enough glue dots to get me through tonight. Yeah, it's only 6:43. Yeah, so it's still early for you. All right, Froggy. Okay, what do I want? You know what? Give me this. Let me put down adhesive. And this thing's being a fuss pot. Come on. All right. I'm going to take this. I'm going to place this, let's see, right about here. Okay. And then glue dots. Now I'm going to put a glue dot on a couple of these leaves, not all of them. I basically just want this to be held down. Yeah, I'm not using as many as what I did when I did that Lily of the Valley one. That was the last one I did. All right, I want to take this sleeve. Now I gotta get unstuck from my finger. Put that down there. All right, and then this one's gonna go over here. All right, and then I'm gonna take these Golden Glow flowers. We'll add a glue dot to the center of these. All right, and then I'm going to add, just kind of put that right there. Don't you? All right, so we want that there, so stick that one there. We'll do another one right there. And then we'll do another one right over here. And then on our Barely Blush rose, we're going to pop that up. and then I'm going to place my rose right here. And then I'm going to take, so out of the, now this, I'll have this listed as the Baker's Twine Essentials pack because there is white in there. However, I went through the white that's in my package. And if you remember, if you've been around Stampin' Up for a few years, at one time they had the individual rolls of just the plain white Baker's Twine. When they went to retire this, I ended up ordering like a whole bunch of rolls of these. They had marked them down. So I got plenty of it, and I'm going to use it because, you know, when you buy this stuff, you're supposed to use it, not hoard it. But I'll tell you what, I think my stash of stuff is going to outlive me because there's a lot of it. I told Yvonne, and she can vouch for me on this. I told her, you know what? Stampin' Up needs to start coming out with ugly stuff. Like ugly stamp sets, ugly paper, ugly embellishments. Because if they would, then guess what? I wouldn't have to be buying it then because it's ugly. But I doubt they're going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do a double stranded bow. Don't need my loops outrageously big. That's good. And then another glue dot. Hopefully I got enough glue dots to last for this video. I should. Yeah, I don't think I'm using any more glue dots on anything. All right, and then so this bottom part here, this rose, I'm going to add my bow right there. And then I'm going to trim my tails like so. All right, and then of course we got to add some more butterflies to this. So this time I'm going to use the crisp cantaloupe ones. And yeah, so there's actually 6 colors in here. So all the in colors, and then you have this pearlized white. So crisp cantaloupe, we're going to put a larger one right down here. Now there is a little lift on these, so when you mail a card, you know, you may want to put like a piece of cardstock or something over it. Oh, and speaking of which, thank you for those postcards back, Deborah, when you mailed that card. Because, you know, I had those things. Well, where did I put these things? Okay, we got one here. Because when we got them in the, you know, like in the starter kit, it's like, okay, I'm not going to use these for anything. So you know, I wasn't going to mail them out or anything. So I thought, okay, you know what? I can use these to protect the fronts of those cards that I mail that have embellishments that could end up going through the envelope. And then we'll add one more right there. All right. That's the second card. So a very simple and quick card. Just basically using those detailed dies with that in color shimmer paper and something sticky on the back. So there we go. There's the second card. All right, one more. Now this is the one that it's a little putsy. I mean, it's a simple card, but I will explain the deal with this one because I thought this one was going, oh, you know, you can just stamp the thing down and it's easy peasy, you know, to line it up and everything. But then I found it wasn't so easy. So I'm going to show you how I managed to do this and not get really frustrated with it when I kept on trying and it just wouldn't line up. So this, like I said, is going to work best if you have a stamp positioning tool. So we are definitely going to be using that. Okay, so for my card base, we have basic white thick. That's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of that Bloom Boutique Bloom, whichever it is, designer series paper. So this is the one that has basically the golden glow and the little white flowers and then like those little gold accents in there. So this is the size of our whole our whole card front. So 5.5 by 4.25. And then I have a piece of golden glow. This measures, what is this? 4 and 5/8 by 3 and 3/8. And then hold on, let's make sure I got the right piece for what. Okay, then a piece of basic white. This is 4.5 by 3.25, and then a scrap piece of white cardstock. We're going to use this to stamp other flowers, and then well, I'm going to be die cutting those. I didn't do those in advance. All right, so we will take care of this part. So let's fold and furnish our card base. Yeah, the only thing that stinks about that pearlized paper is there is only one sheet of each color in it. You know, so it's like if you want it, yeah, I've gone through like half of my, well, yeah, I would say almost half just by die cutting that large scallop. All right, paper, glue. I'm going to add my glue to my card base. All right. Designer series paper, make sure it's facing the right way. Okay, just kind of line that up. Okay, so there we go. That's that piece. Then we have our golden glow. Now there's another piece in here that I die cut. Oh yeah, a piece, another scrap piece of basic white. And I had used this die here out of the Scallop Blooms dies. So this one, little taggy right here with the hole in it. So we got that. Actually, let me get a block and we will stamp our greeting on this one. So for this one, I want, stuck to my thing. So I want Have a Good Day. And I'm going to stamp that in Peaceful Pine ink. All right. Have a good day. We'll stamp that in the middle. Like so. We'll put that right there. All right, so we're going to need Peaceful Pine again. So let me put that over there. We're going to need Hydrangea Hue. We're also going to need Pecan Pie and Golden Glow. All right, so let me move this. And let's see. This, I gotta figure out, I gotta make sure I don't mix up the pieces here. So this is the one that goes to that one. So on here, I am going to stamp 3 of my little flowers in Hydrangea Hue. These are going to be the ones that I am going to die cut. So let me get that stamp set. And I want this little flower right here. This one's easy peasy because this one I'm stamping and then die cutting these out. So these I'm not so worried about lining up. I tried to do the whole lining up of this one. And it was not easy, so I decided, you know what, oh no, that's not the one I wanted. Oh man, I used the wrong one. This is the outline image. I don't want the outline image. I want the fill-in piece. But you're going to see, like, you know, you see the detail on it, and you got that that dark outline. The thing is, on the filler one, it's kind of got an outline on it as well. So it's a little tricky on lining it up exactly perfect. So that was the problem that I was having, even though I was standing on top of it, because with this being a little bit darker, trying to line it up, I was just not getting it lined up. Ugh, it's a little too much. You can see there's kind of like this outline on even the filler one. So when I was trying to line them up, if it goes off a little bit, then your lines are gonna, it's gonna show the lines. So it's not like, you know, the other, you know, two-step stamping images. Does that make sense? Let me get the die and let me quickly die cut. Okay, there's just one die for this. Now to line this up, I kind of look at this little tiny thin petal right here. And so on the die, you can see there's that little smaller part. So that's how I easily line this up. There's one. Two. Okay, and then we got our third one. Okay, so that's all the die cutting. There's no more to die cut. All right, so let's put those aside. All right, the fun part. Well, actually, no, let me pull this in. Okay, So there's the outline, and then there's that filler. Now, like I said, the filler one kind of has this border on it. So for the filler part, we're gonna stamp our outline images. But then what we're gonna do is when we go to use the filler, we're going to put that in our Stampin' Positioner tool. That way I can line it up, because once you have ink on this filler one, it's really hard to line up with the outline. So I want that big outline of the rose, and then there's like this this leaf cluster right here. So we're going to stamp those by hand. We don't need the stamp positioner for this part. All right, so I want to put down some scrap paper, because we're going to be stamping off of that piece a little bit. All right, so for this one, let's bring in Golden Glow, and let me close my glue, because I don't even think, yeah, we do kind of need that. All right, so my outline, ink that up. Oh no, that's not the color I want. Hold on. We're using, I wanted that outline to be a little bit darker. So instead of stamping it in, what do you call it, Golden Glow, I'm going to stamp that in Pecan Pie. So let me swap out. Whoa! Stop bouncing. It's still bouncing. Okay, it's not bouncing anymore. I may be a little too close, that's why. I may have to bring it up a little bit. All right, so now let me ink it in the right color. And I'm going to stamp one rose. Let's see, right over here. Ink this up, and then I'm going to stamp another one right over here. Okay, and then I'm going to take, oh, don't pull it all the way out. All right, then I'm going to take Peaceful Pine, and this leaf cluster, ink that up. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to kind of stamp this here. Now there's going to be a gap from the end of that leaf to where the edge of that rose is. That's not going to be a problem, because one of these Hydrangea Hue flowers that we stamped and die cut, those are going to kind of cover over that, so you're not going to see that. And then we'll put this one over here. All right. Let me clean those really quick. All right, now this is where we're going to need our stamp positioner, because again, there's an outline on each of these images, and lining them up, I mean, you think you have it, but then when you pull up that stamp, then it turns out you can see that it's off a bit. So as you see, I have 4 magnets on here. So with the new catalog coming out, now I don't know if it's actually considered in the catalog, or is it considered online exclusives? I don't know, but you can get an extra set of replacement magnets. So I have 4 of them. All right, so I'm going to take this. Now you got these little tiny pegs here that hold your grid paper. So I am going to line this up and just kind of go with the grid paper. And I'm going to put my magnets on there. And then I'm going to grab my filler rose. Okay, so it's easier when the stamp is clean. That stamp, it's blue. Night of Navy did that. Is that the color you were using? Is Yvonne still here, or did she fall asleep? I don't see her. Yeah, she ended up stamping this a lot in Night of Navy, so it's actually, yeah, it's blue. Usually blue is not a color that would stain it. So what I'm doing is I am taking this and just basically lining it up with that outline of what I stamped in pecan pie. All right. Then, let me move that for a second. I'm going to take Golden Glow. Okay, I can, but I'm a lefty, not a righty. Okay, so ink that up. Bring this in. Flip it over. And stamp down. Okay, so there we go. It's all like lined up. Before I was kind of going outside of that solid line a little bit. And I mean, it's more time consuming having to just fill it in that way instead of just, you know, stamping it. But I tried a few times, and you know, when you, after you try a few times and it's still not working, then all that does is that just really frustrates you. So I had to figure out some way on how to do this. So let me dry off my stamp. Well, I can tell they're home. I don't know if you hear it or not, but okay. Now I'm going to line it up over this one. Okay. All right. Move that. I keep opening it the wrong way. I gotta remember that the one with the big label on it, have that in my left hand. All right. There we go. So it's lined up perfectly. And of course that's going to dry a little bit lighter. It won't be as dark. See, that's the one thing that I'm not used to when we have, you know, with our 2-step stamping stamps, that usually your filler ones do not have like an outline on the outside of them. And even if it's off just that tiny bit, I don't know, I'm a little too OCD that I feel it just needs to all, you know, it all needs to line up. All right, so now let me put that over there. So now we need the filler for the leaves. What did I do with it? All right, so now let me shift my magnets over. And then let's see. Goes this way. Kind of line that up. All right, we'll just out of the way a second. And we'll bring in Peaceful Pine. Okay. Oops. There we go. And then clean it. Okay, so once we get that stamped, it's just putting it all together. Oops. Again, it's a simple card. It's just this one step here. I mean, I even tried it where I stamped the outline first and then stamped the inside. And then I switched it and did the inside and then the outside, and it didn't matter. It kept on doing it. So when you look at this filler leaf, the larger one is going to be this one here in the middle. Okay, so line that up. And I think the other little frustration that I'm having too is that I think this coming week is the last week that, you know, I know that that it sounds really mean. I do like kids. However, these brats are going to be at school for the summer, and honestly, I think they need to make up a whole lot of time for all that other time they've been out. But yeah, I need to be in a house where I don't have like neighbors right on top of me. Like I said, if you're somebody that I like, you can be my neighbor. But I just want, honestly, I'm really not that old, but I want some peace and quiet. I really do. You know, I'm fine with making my own noise with the music that I like, you know. Y'all still with me? No one's falling asleep. I know if I was sitting here watching me, I'd probably fall asleep on myself, to be honest with you. All right, so we got that. Let's bring in our stamp panel now. And we'll move this out of the way. Okay, so now it's just a matter of assembling all this. Let me get my 3 little flowers here. So these little flowers, we're going to put a dimensional on back of each of them. Hello, Sue. I think if anything, it's what is it? Is it Monday morning where you are? All right, so we got that. Then we are going to take this panel here and we're going to add it onto this piece. So what I want to do, I'm going to add some glue on here. I'm going to do it this way. And then I'm going to place this at an angle like so. Okay. All right, and then add some more glue. All right, so now when I put this down, I want, now this is interesting because you see the golden glow, but I want to do the white straight and try not to look at that golden glow cardstock. Okay, then these little flowers here, we're just going to take them and pop them right over where the stem of that leaf is. And then what I'm going to do is with my greeting piece here. Oh, I need more of it. That's why. I'm going to bring in. All right, what I do with it? I have a whole bunch of rolls of linen thread that I don't see, so I'm going to have to bring in another roll. And then figure out where it starts. There it is. All right, so I want, probably going to have more than I really need, but better to have more than not enough, right? Okay, so I'm going to fold my linen thread in half. And then I'm going to go in, actually I'm going to fold this over a little bit just so I can get this through the little hole of my tag. And then we got our loop right here. I'm going to pull that end right through like that. This was something, one of the classes or whatever that I watched, I don't remember which one it was. That's how they ended up tying a bow onto like a label that had the little hole in it. By just doing it that way and then tying your bow. And it's like, okay, that's nifty. So I'm going to take my dimensionals, put them on there. And then I'm going to place this, let's see, right about here, like so. And then I'm going to tie my bow. With my very unruly linen thread. Well, that's not too bad. Okay, I'll bring this in just a tad. Bring that in just a tad. Okay, and then we're going to snip some of this excess here. Okay, and then I got one more of these flowers that will stick that right there. All right, one more thing to add. We got our butterflies. Okay, where are you at? Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use my Golden Glow ones. Let's get rid of this. And we'll add one there. And see, we'll add one right there. And another one right up there. Okay, there we go. There is our third card. So like I said, with the way the filler stamp is, it kind of has that border on there. And so, yeah, to make it easy to kind of line it up and not get frustrated, a stamp positioning tool is really going to help on that. Because you can see this is just the filler right here, but you can see kind of like there's like a darker edge around it. So when you try to take that filler stamp when it's inked up and trying to line it up, it was always off. So the stamp positioning tool is definitely going to be your best bet. All right, so let me bring in the other cards that we did. So the first one we did is this one with all the Hydrangea Hue, using some of that in color shimmer paper on this. And then even the little, well not little, but where is it? The shimmer pens, the Hydrangea Hue. I did explain what you need to do before you use these. There's this little white ring right here. Just like the Wink Stella, you have to remove that and do the same thing. Squeeze some of that glimmer into the brush, but you know, be gentle with it because you don't want too much coming out of it. And again, this shimmer, it's got the color in it, so if I were to use that on, say, on top of this, it would have been a little too much and you wouldn't have seen the detail. But what I did do with this, I did use my bone folder and I took this and I splattered it on my background. So there's a little bit of shimmer from that on there. So there's our first card. The second one basically used the detail dies, and I die cut my elements out of the shimmer paper. So the Barely Blush, Golden Glow, and Peaceful Pine, and then brought in the Hydrangea Hue to do my greeting. So this is the one I needed to do some die cutting while we were live. So there's our second card, and then of course here's our third one, with the golden glow. So this is kind of a case off of a sample out of the catalog, but they use like the Hydrangea Hue floral pattern on the background, and I just changed up the colors a little bit and went with the golden glow on this. So there's the three cards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of tidy this up a little bit. And linked up at the top, I do have the link to the Google spreadsheet if you would like to be in on the drawing for one of tonight's cards. I take all the names on that spreadsheet and I put it into a wheel of names, and then I bring my laptop in and then I spin, and then the first two people, you get to choose which card you would like. And of course, then the third person, whoever I draw, then you will get the other card. So let me kind of get this stuff out of the way. So then we have some room. And again, just like the one I did, the live I did last week, uh, so the description stuff, I'm gonna really aim to get that out there a lot sooner than I did with last week's. And so um, like all the description stuff with the list of supplies and all that, I'm gonna try and get that done tonight so that at least that's out there, and even take pictures for the thumbnail for this one and for last week. And then the PDF, I'll work on that PDF as the week goes on, probably earlier in the week. The PDFs, they do have the link in the date that if you click on it, it's going to take you back to the video that I did. It's just, there was a lot of things going on and everything, and that's why it's just not done yet. And usually it's a Friday night. Past couple of weeks it's been Saturday because there's been things going on. Rarely am I doing it a Sunday night, but it was really to get this video in, this live in for this week. This was really the only day that I could do it then. So again, typically it would be Friday night. So let me, let's see. I'm just looking at the comments. Let's see. Can I ended up? Okay. All right. So let me see here. Yeah. So the link is up at the top. If you're not able to access it, if you just say something in the chat box, somebody can get your name out there. So we got Froggy, Deborah, Sharon, Tracy, and Yvonne. Is Yvonne still with us? Well, you got to be present to win. I see. Okay, so she made a comment. Um, just before Sue came on. Yeah, there she is. See, I called her out. She had to answer. Okay. So Sue, would you like to be? Don said hello. Hello, Don. Sue, would you like to be added? It doesn't matter that you're in Australia. I have the stamps where I can mail it. It just would take a little bit longer. Okay, I'll add you. All right. All right. So I have Froggy, Deborah, Sharon, Tracy, Yvonne, and Sue. Is that everybody? If it is, I'm going to unhook the laptop and bring it in, and we'll get this party going and get it done, so then I could then go and have some dinner, which is going to be salad. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I did nibble on something before going live, so all right. And then I need to take a shower because, like I said, it was hot and yucky today, so all right. So let me bring this in. I got to move these lights out of my way because it's going to glare on the screen. And I'm going to bring this in. And so, again, the way it works, I'm going to take all of the names. I should have did this first, right? Hold on. I got to do this. So copy. And then go here, here, and Control V. Copy and paste. The I love it. Whoever invented it, thank you. All right, so we have everybody, right? Let me just do one more check. Okay, so here we go. Deborah. There's Deborah. Let's see. Which card would you like, Deborah? Number 1, okay. And these cards will go out in the mail tomorrow because I got to run up to, at some point tomorrow, I got to run up to Five Below. That's where they have an Amazon locker, and that's where I get my stuff from. And I ordered some, and this is really weird. So by the time I got done yesterday, It was what? It was like 6 o'clock. And it said that my thing wasn't delivered yet. And what was crazy after I got home and I looked at it again, Sharon, then it said it was delivered. However, I never got, that little thing where you can kind of connect to the thing because it was saying that, oh, it's going to be delivered tomorrow. So, well, what is it? Is it delivered or is it not delivered? So, I mean, literally, I was standing in the store trying to call them, didn't get anywhere. So, I'll be going out to get it tomorrow. So, I'll be going out. So, number 2, okay. Okay, and then our final card. We'll go to Tracy. Okay. All right. So let me go back here and let's kind of wrap up. So again, thank you so much everybody for bearing with me. I feel real, like I said, I know you guys are okay with it, but I feel really bad that I can't, lately this month especially, I haven't been able to keep to the schedule with my Throwback Thursdays, and I have to keep changing my Friday Night Lives to one of the other days in the weekend. But at some point, yeah, I'm gonna get on track. And I know weekends, you kind of, that's to me anyway. It's like, like your low key day and all that. And but I thank you so much for joining me. And like I said, I feel bad because Terry couldn't stay on because she had to go to bed because she gets up really, really early. And so, yeah, so thank you, everyone. And I would say have a great rest of your weekend, but I think Froggy's got more of the weekend left than we do. But again, thank you. And I will keep you posted as far as um, I'm aiming for Friday. And if it should change for any crazy reason, I will definitely let you guys know ahead of time. So, yeah, so thank you, everybody. And if you're going to be dealing with any storms this week, please be safe. The way Ryan Hall's been talking, it's like some of them are like pretty severe and all that. So be safe. And thank you for joining me. And again, if you like the projects, please give the video a thumbs up. I forgot to mention that the last time. And again, the description stuff, I'm going to aim for getting that stuff out there tonight and even add the thumbnail. But I will be working on the PDF for this live and then also what I did last week. And that just gives you all the dimensions, the pictures of the cards and everything if you want to recreate them. So everyone have a blessed one, and I will see you later in the week. Bye bye.